Hey everyone, and welcome to my craft room again. 2 times in 2 days. I must be on holidays. Anyway, which I am. So I'm taking advantage of it while I can. Just bear with me while I am getting my iPad up to date. Oh, I need to turn the volume down. I forget that all the time. Anyway, welcome to my craft room. Hi Jenny. Hi Susan. Thanks for joining me, guys. And Wendy, hi. Gosh, gang's all here. Anyway, today I'm going to do a variation of this little card that I put on my Facebook yesterday. Thank you everyone who commented and liked it. It seems to be one of the most popular cards I've made for a little while, so I thought I'd try it again. The reason I thought I had to try it again, and this is probably going to show you something about my personality that probably only my husband realises, is that it worried me that the flowers were tulips but the leaves weren't. That may not worry a lot of people, but it just didn't worry me, but it felt that it was something I could do better. So now with that little insight into my personality, you guys can, I'll move on. Hey Lisa, thanks for joining me. Yes, I'm looking forward to see what this year comes up with as well on everybody's pages. Anyway, so as I said, I'm going to try and do this one again, but I'm going to use the tulip leaves and stems from the Timeless Tulip set, rather than these little ones that I actually got from a retired wonderful floral die set that that I got found in my stash. Anyway, so let's see how we go. Doing it. I've put the pieces together, but I haven't actually assembled the card yet, so you guys are going to be seeing it with me for the first time. Let's see what we can do. Okay, so what I thought I would show you, and as I say, I've got all the bits cut out here, is first of all I will show you what I've cut. I've got a cake crumb card base here. You didn't even, no, I probably didn't really notice them too, but it just worried me that they weren't botanically correct. Anyway, so I've got a crumb cake card base. That's my normal card base, 5 3/4 inches by 8 1/4, and I've scored it in the middle there just to make a card base. I've got an extra piece of crumb cake cardstock, and this is cut to 4 1/8 wide and 5 5/8 long, so it's the same width as our card base, but it's a slight bit shorter, and you'll see why I've done that in a second, because usually when I'm doing my top layers I cut those narrower on that side as well. But anyway, you'll see, because once we put it through the embossing folder, it actually gets shorter or narrower. Anyway, so I'll cut that a bit wider. I have a normal piece of Whisper White cut for the inside. Morning Angie, for the inside, which we'll get to in a minute. I actually did also want to put a bit of colour behind the central panel with this one. So you can see with this original card, it's just a piece of vellum straight on the crumb cake. I thought I'd have a little bit of an experiment with putting some colour behind it, just to give that central panel a bit more of a lift. We'll see how we go. I don't know whether this is Pear Pizzazz. It's the other side of the beautiful Timeless Tropical Designer Series paper. So I don't know whether that is going to be enough to lift it, or whether I needed to go a little bit brighter. Anyway, we'll give it a bit of a try. That's a bit fussy. Yeah, so we'll give it a try and see how we go. Hey Susan, thanks for joining me. Anyway, so let's get started. So I am going to bring the big shot into the camera here. So everything is going to wobble like mad, so if you get seasick, look away now. So what I'm going to do is, here I've got our top layer of crumb cake. And what I'm going to do is pop it into the corrugated embossing folder, and I'm only going to put it in a tiny bit. So I've actually the last time I counted in 5 corrugations, if you want to call them that. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and lined it up with that. So as you can see, I'm only putting that very edge to there of it through the big shot. So if I can keep it straight, that's part of the fun with that. So bear with me, I'll bring the big shot in and you can see what I'm talking about. as I say, everything is going to wobble like mad now. And as I've said before, it's actually my floor and it's not my desk. So until I can persuade my children to leave home, I'm sort of stuck with it in the craft room. Okay, so I'm putting just the edge of the cardstock into the folder and grabbing my plate and just popping that through. As you can see, I've got one of the older platforms with the big shot. I've had it for ages. Okay, so there you can see we've only got the side, inch and a bit or a couple of centimetres that have actually been embossed. So I'm going to do the same thing coming in from the other side. So again, just it's a bit tricky while I've got the big shot in there. Just the first 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 or so. Line it up as well as I can. Fold it down. And then pop it through this way. Hoping that hasn't moved. Anyway, the joy of handmade, isn't that what we say? Hey Chris, thanks for joining me, and Jenny too. Hi Jenny. Okay, so just popping that one through, and then I'll be able to get this monstrosity out of the way. So there we are. So we've got two sides of our cardstock embossed with a blank panel in the middle so we can decorate it. I'll just get this out of the way. Yeah. So apologies if that was all shaky and wobbly. Okay, so now we can bring back in our card base, and we can see here why I actually made it slightly wider than my normal layer, because now that we've embossed it, it's brought it back into the perfectly back into the little border that I like all the way around. Hey Marie, thanks for joining me, and Angie, you're back. I didn't realise you'd gone. I've actually just noticed with my card base I've got a little bit of thin, a little bit overlap there, so I'm going to bring in my new trimmer. So I don't know if anyone's seen the admins, the demos amongst us have already seen the new trimmer, but it's absolutely wonderful. I love it. Love it to pieces. So it's really great. It's actually a free gift to new demos during celebration. When you join during from tomorrow to the end of March, you get this little trimmer plus a paper sampler and a stamp set of your choice. Absolutely free. So if that sounds good to you, just drop me a message and we can talk about joining up. So as I say, that's a great little trimmer, perfect for that length of card, just to trim that off. Don't have to worry about blades getting blunt. It's really, really good. Okay, so I'll bring that in now, and look, to be honest, I'm actually going to use it again. What an opportunity. I'm going to use it again just to take a little bit off the edge there, because it hasn't shrunk it just as much as I thought it would. So just take that little bit off there as well. Okay, that's good. That's evened it up a little bit also. Okay, so right, so that's the little panel that's going to sit in there. I won't attach it just yet because we'll actually I can decorate it first. We'll just get rid of our card base and just leave our panel. So I've measured this up, hoping that the inner panel would be the same. You don't really know how wide that's going to be until you've done your embossing. And I have cut this one in line with what it was in the previous card, and it's a little bit wide. So back in with my trimmer. What an opportunity. I'm going to just narrow that down a little bit. Just line it up with a great little grid and cut it. And hopefully that is, yeah, that's perfect now. That fits just lovely in those middle perforations. I'll do the same. I've also cut myself a little bit of vellum, so I'll cut that as well. There with that. Okay, there. Just cut myself a little bit. Trim that down a little bit as well, and hopefully they will both fit perfectly now. Cool, excellent. trimmer's getting a bit of use today. Jenny, you've caught me out. You've caught me out. Anyway, I just know how handy the trimmer is and what a great gift it is. Anyway, cool. So, yep, those two panels fit perfectly now, so you can see the Pear Pizzazz paper is behind the vellum, and so we can start decorating. Cool. Alright, so I might actually attach those first. And because we've got this nice clear panel here, it's going to stick really nice with glue. I find with these really distinct embossing folders, it's sometimes hard to get them to stick. But now we've got that nice flat area, everything's going to stick perfectly if my glue will start. Okay, so a bit of glue in there. See if I've missed anyone who's joined. Okay, so there we are. Pop that one there. So that's our little piece of just a little bit of colour boost. And I will stick the vellum as well. So normally when I do my vellum, I will grab a piece of sponge, which I knew I had a piece of sponge here yesterday, but I think it dropped on the floor. Oh, here it is. On the floor. There we go. Grab a tiny piece of sponge, it's got stuff stuck to it, and pop a glue all over your vellum. So the thing is with the vellum, if you put glue like that, you're going to be able to see a shadow of it behind, and a lot of people, you know, that we wouldn't want that. So if you just get a little bit of, put your glue on, get a little bit of sponge and just dab it, you will get the stickiness that you need, but without the shadow. Only downside is that you also lose that lovely move and sort of give that our glue has. So you have to be pretty much sure that where you pop it is where you want it, because you won't be able to move it around after. Okay, so there we go. There, so we've got our central one. Oh gosh, look, it's overlapped at the top. Let me bring in the trimmer again. And I'll just take that little bit off the top there. Cool. Okay, so there we are. So now the bit I'm a bit nervous about, we'll actually pop our little flowers on, our little tulips. Okay, so as I said with this one, I used a die with old olive cardstock and a die that is retired. I think it was from Wonderful Floral, which was one of my favourite sets a while ago. But yes, I wanted to try something with some actual tulip leaves and stems. So what I've done is I have cut out, I have stamped some stems in Pear Pizzazz. I also wanted to brighten it up a little bit, and I've done some leaves also in the Pear Pizzazz. So I've done some of the ones that you can use the punch for. So those who don't know, the tulip bundle comes with this awesome punch. Forget about, you don't have to fussy cut, you don't have to worry about dies. It comes with this wonderful punch as part of the bundle. So what I've done is inked some of that one, which is this one here from the set, and I've cut them out with the punch. As you can see, they're nice and sharp and uniform. And then with the others, I have also stamped them in Pear Pizzazz on white, and I've fussy cutted those. Fussy cutted, is that the past tense? Fussy cut. Anyway, so I've got leaves. I don't really know how many I'm going to use, but I've got a fair few here that I can use to arrange up and down my stems. There. So the flowers I've kept the same, the actual tulips themselves. I have I've stamped and cut 6 altogether. I've got 2 in mango mumbo. No. Oh, it's here, Julianne. I've got 2 in melon mambo. I've got 2 in mango melody. And I've got 2 in rich raspberry, which sounds like a wonderful fruit salad, to be honest. So I've got 2, 2 and 2, which is the same 2, 6 that I stamped for the first one. So let's see how we go. This is going to be interesting. You guys will have to tell me what you think when we get there. Okay, so I've got my 2 stems. So I still want to have that sort of curvy sort of feel that we got with the original card. So what I thought I might do is put them sort of so they go from one side of, so the left hand side to the right hand side, and then again right hand side to left hand side, so I sort of get that curve. Hang on, I'm just thinking about it as I do it. Or do I want to do it like so they both come from the same point but they go like this? Yeah, I think I like this better. So we'll go from left to right and then sort of centre to left, so we get it that sort of way. So I might stick those down because otherwise they're going to move around and annoy me. So let's do this. It's a shame there's a delay on the Facebook. You guys could tell me whether I'm going terribly wrong. But anyway, I know you're all too polite to do that. Okay, so we'll take it from, I think I've actually got the flower upside down, but the stem actually upside down. That's all right. Artistic license. Okay, so we'll pop that one down first. And then that one up to there. Too much glue. It's alright, I'll do it in a second. Okay, so in this other one, I'm going to start it from sort of halfway and take it over to the other side. Like that. No, that's what I decided to do there. Like that. Now I've got glue everywhere. Just bring in a wipe. Bear with me for a second. Okay. Yeah, that's what I want. So I'm going to get a curl sort of up the middle there. That should work. Okay, so Jenny, you haven't got the trimmer yet. Oh, I don't know whether you'll have to find someone to join up or join up and grab it. It's worth it. I do actually have an old one from another craft company which I absolutely adored until this one came along and took over my favourite tool stakes. Okay, so let's put some leaves on now. So we'll just sort of we'll start with the ones that I've done with the punch. Sort of lost my way there, and we'll start putting them up here like this. Cover over that nasty bit of double stem there. How's this looking, you guys? So you like it so far? Thank you, Jenny. And up here. And here. It's a bit tricky. It's gonna, I don't suppose it matters too much if it goes over my corrugations a tiny bit. It's just a bit of out there. And then I'll bring in these ones that I've fussy cutted. Pop them in as well. I haven't glued anything down yet, I'm just positioning. Somebody's going to have to tell me the past tense of fussy cutted. Is that right? Fussy cut? Anyway, doesn't really matter. Missing something down here. Now, how's that look? That looks okay, doesn't it? I think that looks all right. So I might actually glue those down as well, just with a touch of glue. They're already pretty sticky, given my adventures with the glue so far. Oh, come on. Just a tiny touch of glue. Apologies if I've missed anyone who's come on. Just say hi, let me know you're on, and if I don't catch up with you, I will catch up in the comments later. I mean, gosh. And Okay, so it's already looking a bit more tulipy, I think. Where's I going to put that one? You think you'd still fussy cut them, do you, Lisa? Yeah, because you can see there's a white border on those ones, and these ones are fussy cut really close. So maybe if I do it again, I'll cut around these other ones and make them, I don't want that one there, I want that one there. Make them more uniform. Yes, you're exactly right. Oh well, it's what you do when you sort of go spontaneous. I hope everyone had a nice new year, and I hope everyone is safe and relatively smoke free. It's funny, my kids and I, my husband, my kids and I were up in Merimbula the year before last. So a lot of the places that we're now hearing about with smoke and everything are very familiar to us. So my thoughts to everyone who's in the fire zones or in the smoke. Okay, so that looks a bit more tulipy in my mind. So let's pop the flowers on. So I'll follow the same pattern again as I did with the last one. Oh, fussy cut. Oh, okay. Thank you, Lisa. Yes, it's the same, I would think. Fussy cut is its own past participle, past tense. So I'm going to pop that one down in here. So I'm trying to cover over some of the edges of the leaves so that they don't look so just stuck on. And I'll bring in this one next and pop this over here. I might take it up a tiny bit over that way. Now, the trouble is I am going to see that edge, but I might be able to cover it with my sentiment in a second. And then this one up over here. I'm going to put these all up on dimensionals again, and I'll pop this, hang on, might change that up a little bit, pop them that way instead. Put them there. And then put this one over here. Yeah, that works better. And then this one up here. How's that? Oh, I like that. Hey Glenda, good morning. Thanks for joining me. There we go. So, there. Shame I can't put, I'm going to put something down here. I'm going to have to, because that's going to bug me. If I was worried about stems and leaves, I was definitely going to worry about that empty spot. That should be over there, shouldn't it? But I can't have it over there. Anyway, all good. That's just me. Okay, so let's put some dimensionals up. Hey Marilyn, good morning. Thanks for joining me. So I'm going to use the larger dimensionals here. I used the smaller ones on the first attempt and they wobble around like there's a strong breeze happening. So I'll use the larger ones this time. And popping them in those same positions. Good morning, Kathy. As I've had them before, just that way. And this one. Oh, just moving that dimensional over a little bit because I want it to overlap that one by quite a lot. So needed to have the dimensional right on the hard edge there. Well, that one's just about done. I'll get my scissors, start using my edges. Always use the edges of your dimensionals. That one there. And this one. Wasn't it? And just the last one, and then we can get on with our sentiment. So So I actually fussy cut the sentiment out as well. I must have been a glutton for punishment with this one. There we go. Cool. So how do we like that? It's a bit more flowy, a bit more flowy, that's a word. Flow is a bit better than this one, I think, although I do love that. Okay, so let's do our sentiment before we actually mount it on our card. So as I said, I use Get Well Soon on this one. So I might use one of the other ones from the set. I thought maybe I'd use Happy Birthday for this one. So get the Happy Birthday out and block it up. And I'll just use black because it stands out really nicely. It doesn't matter too much when you're going to be fussy cutting your sentiment. You don't really have to worry too much whether it's straight, which is really cool. There we go. And then I will cut it out. So you just sort of, when you're fussy cutting these, you're just basically following the shape of the word. You know, if you have low letters, you stay down, and if you go up when you've got a big one, sort of just follow the shape of it. Oop. Around there, and then kick back a little bit so I don't chop off my Y. There we are. There we go, so we've got our birthday, and then we'll do our happy. Too much card there. Okay, so we'll do our happy. Just up over the H, and then just curve it back around the Y. So happy birthday. So I'm going to pop those. We have a bit of an experiment, see how we like, where we like these. Maybe birthday. Happy birthday there, or I could go happy and cover over that space that really annoys me down here. Yeah. No, I think I like that on the, I like them on the actual flowers. I think that's really nice. So put one there. One there, maybe at the top of it. Oh gosh, whichever way I go, I'm not going to like it. I think I like it best there and there. There. What do we think? There and there, I think, is best. I'll put something down in here because it's going to really annoy me. So happy. Just attaching those just to your little tulip flowers. And birthday there. Try not to cover them over too much, just hanging off the edge by a tiny bit. Okay, cool, I like that. So what I'm going to put this time, the same as I did last time, if I can find them, I'll find everything but now. With the wonderful Peaceful Poppies bundle, there are these wonderful sequins, and they are in the most unusual colours. They just really strike me as unusual. There's black ones, there's gold ones. I think there's poppy parade ones. Anyway, they just strike me as sort of a really unusual mix of colours, which I really like. And they do actually have them in there that are a little flower shape. So what in the other one, on my other card, I actually popped some little black ones on there, which I think gave it a bit of, made it quite striking. So I thought I might do the same with this one. So I'll find my tool and we'll search through here and find some little black flowers. Oh, that's just a plain sequin, that one. That's a little black flower. I'll just show you. So these are really good. I think I'm going to use these quite a lot. I'll just make sure that's up under the camera there. I think they're really cute. I don't know if you can see that. It might take a bit difficult, anyway, difficult to focus, but they are. Take my word for it. Very cute. So I want a few of those, and I'll pop them around the edges of the card. So I've taken a lot more room up with this one, so it might be a bit tricky to find a spot. Anyway, that's cool. So I'll just pop some glue around the place where I've decided I want my little flowers. Yeah. Really mucked myself up with starting it over there. It's really a bit difficult. Anyway, we'll pop one there. Okay, so pop some glue on, just a little daub, and then hopefully it will stick to that and not to me. There we go, one, and oops, two, and three. Help me tool, 3, and 4. Here we go. So I think they really sort of add something a little bit special to this one. Just give you a little bit of focus, a little bit of interest. That's really nice. Okay. Well, I think that's just about done. I think that's worked out quite well. I'm quite happy with that, even that there is a blank space there, and I hate blank spaces. So we'll just pop that one on our card. And I find with this corrugated die set, I like to use tear and tape to stick it down. It just seems to stick better. More, you don't have to use quite as much glue. So I'm going to stick it on the tear and tape on one of the little hills there, so it actually has something to stick to on that side and on that side, and then obviously at the bottom as well. Thanks, Lisa. I think it looks okay. I was a little bit nervous about this one. Yes, since you sort of have a one that turns out well, you don't think you will be able to do it again. Almost. Anyway, that's cool. So as I said, this Timeless Tulips comes available to customers tomorrow for celebration. Not for celebration, in the mini catalogue, the new occasions, which we now call mini catalogue. It's available through to the end of, to the beginning of June. Yes, it comes in a bundle, so if you like what you're seeing, just drop me a message, or on my website or email, and I will tell you all about it. Help you order if you need my help. Sorry, my little flower came off. I'm going to pop it back on again. Oh, left-handed gluing. How could you stop gluing now after 2 seconds? There you go. Oh. Oh. Okay, that one, stay. It's got so much glue now, it's not going anywhere. Cool, okay, so that is, oh, we've got the inside panel to do. That is a tulipy version of my card from yesterday. Don't know, I think I like the colour behind. I think I like that. I think maybe I've got too many leaves on there, but that's cool. That's right, next time it'll be perfect. So anyway, so that's that. I'll pop the inside panel in. I might use the same stems and leaves that we did before with the pear pizzazz. Hadn't really thought about what I was going to do inside, but I'll put a couple of stems and I'll put some tulips inside just to bring the same sort of feeling in. Probably do there. And I will use pear pizzazz, rich raspberry. I just love that colour, just love it to death. There we go. I think that'll do. Sometimes more is less. Okay, so we'll pop that one in as well. Okay, cool. Alright, just finish that one off. That's all done. Thanks for watching, guys. Big day tomorrow, celebration, and the new mini catalogue come for sale to customers. We've got some awesome deals. We've got some great joining offers, which you've seen my little trimmer. That was part of the joining offer. There's also great deals when you shop and when you host. So if you would like to know a little bit more about Stampin' Up and Celebration, just drop me a line, drop me an email, contact me via my business page, and I will send me your phone number and I'll give you a call, even if that's what you would prefer to do. Anyway, thanks for watching today, guys. There's our end result, and hopefully you like that one. And I will catch you all next time. Thank you. Bye.